We have some shocking new information about silver. You might be wondering, will silver ever get above $24 per ounce? How about $50, $60 per ounce? Because that's where it should be right now. We know the amount of silver coming out of the ground from the mines is shrinking, while simultaneously the demand for silver is skyrocketing. We know that the price of silver has been artificially held down for decades. And as a result of that, there's been very little investment into new silver mining projects. But what about the demand side? Is there some new shocking information that could lead to silver going to prices that we can only imagine? We know right now that there's robust demand for silver from the green energy transition. There's a lot of silver used in electric cars. There's a lot of silver used in solar panels. But what are we learning right now that the world leaders are coming together soon to reach an agreement that could lead to an unbelievable new demand source for silver, or I should say an unbelievable increase in a current demand source for silver. Because we know the demand for silver for photovitalic, which is the fancy way of saying solar panels, has been going through the roof. The Silver Institute tells us that in 2023, there's almost 160 million or so ounces of silver being demanded for solar panels, but many people think that number could reach as high as 200 million by the end of the year. But have you heard of this organization called COP28, COP28? It's an offshoot of the Paris Accords. It has something to do with the United Nations. Nonetheless, it's a group of the leading industrialized countries coming together to tackle the climate change problem. And they're talking about tripling the amount of solar installations by the year 2030. Let me remind you, we will soon be into the year 2024. That's just 6 short years from now. And they're not talking about tripling the current production. They're talking about tripling the entire installed solar capacity right now. Guys, this could lead to an unbelievable amount of demand for silver because we know the new generations of solar panels actually use more silver than the current panels that are being manufactured right now. I appreciate you choosing to give me some of your time here in the basement. It really is my honor. Please come back. Subscribe to the channel. That's free. Give this video a thumbs up. But even most important, please leave a comment in the comment section below. We want to know about you and we want to learn from you. The numbers are stunning. It makes sense when we hear these unbelievable projections about how much silver is going to be used by the solar industry. By the year 2050, I've heard that the solar industry could eat up 100% of the world's silver. But think about it. We're in a situation right now where we've had artificially suppressed prices in silver. Like we talked about earlier, there's very little money going into filling up that pipeline of future silver projects just at a time when the world is going to demand a significant, and I mean major, amount of new silver. Where's all the silver going to come from? The price is going to need to be much, much higher to make it economic for mining companies to even want to consider building and developing new silver projects. But where's all this money going to come from anyway? The extra second bonus feature in this is it's going to require a lot of new money to be printed. This is a major worldwide initiative. Again, COP28. You can look it up for yourself. I'd encourage you to start to educate yourself on what is going on with this initiative. We'd like to thank our sponsor, First Mining Gold. They're a Canadian gold developer with 2 world-class projects in Canada. They also have a handful of other projects. When you total up all the gold in their resources, it comes to over 12 million ounces. They're worth checking out. I'll put a link to the company's website in the description below. Are we looking at a situation where hundreds of millions of ounces of new silver demand are going to be hitting the market just at a time when silver production and pipelines are dwindling? What do you think that's going to do to the price of silver? Are we in a very unique little window of opportunity right now where the price of silver is still being suppressed, but right around the corner, we're going to see a big change in sentiment, a big recognition of the importance of silver. Silver on the front page where we know it belongs. It's going to be very interesting to see how this situation plays out. And remember, 200 million ounces of silver this year going into the solar industry. This tripling doesn't apply to that 200. It applies to all of the solar installations that have occurred over the last decade or so. The numbers are just absolutely staggering. We could certainly be entering a new era for silver demand and silver price, an era where we get true price discovery, where the paper electronic markets are overwhelmed by pure physical demand. Aren't we starting to see that already in China? We're on the Shanghai Gold Exchange. In the last month or so, we've had situations where physical silver is being priced almost 13% higher than what the electronic version of it is priced for in New York and London. Hey, look, we've waited a long time. We don't know for sure how this will all play out, but from a big picture perspective, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel comfortable owning some physical silver. If you want to get some physical silver for yourself, go check out channel sponsor Pimbex, Pimbex, the online bullion dealer. Trust me, they have a lot of silver, and you'll find what I found. Their prices are the best. And if you do your research, which I'd recommend you do, you'll also find they have a great reputation. It's so key when you're buying physical metal that you work with a trusted supplier. Do your own work in that regard, but I think you'll find what I found in that Pimbex is best. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. I'll look forward to seeing you, yes, you, next time. Hey everybody, it's Ron from Ron's Basement, live on the log flume. Say hi, girls.